And your first squad, make some noise, it's the Sentinels! Led by John QT, and let's not forget about Coach Kaplan, what he brings to the table as well. But this is a squad looking, Alexis, to have a hell of a run here in Stage 2.
Absolutely. I mean, they're pretty much set to make champs, Paris. I want to say that they're excited to go into this game and see what Baby Bay has to offer, to be honest. I think they're excited to see that.
I think that's the curiosity more than anything else.
I think, again, for as silly as this match may feel, because of the, as you said, Schmeeg-sized elephant in the room, there is a lot that Sentinels do need to be working on week in and week out. This is not a punt week for them. It is not something that should be taken lightly. There are things they need to continue to refine.
I could not agree more. All right, well, on the other side of the field, let's see how Sentinels' opponents are. Let's go ahead and bring out the squad. Folks in the Riot Games Arena, put your hands together for G2 Esports. In G2, we didn't even get a chance to talk about Giacomo Jonapipa. Look at that, man. He almost tripped. He almost tripped, guys. We almost lost him as soon as he got to the stage. Baby Bay joining the squad. What a timeline that we happen to live in here. Doug, I can feel the excitement just pouring out of you.
I'm just glad he put in the work to walk out without needing a walker. Coming out onto the stage. Because listen, I know. I'm telling you, there is an inevitable injury to come out of this. Guy's gonna throw a shoulder out, do something crazy.
You watch out for the knees, you know? When you hit 30, it all goes downhill from there. So you all feel it right in the knees and the thighs.
All right, let's actually zoom in a little bit here and talk about the value that Dre does provide to this team.
And why he's on this team. We were joking, but there's real things.
I do think there's a lot to be said about, obviously his mechanical skill is well-renowned. We've saw clips about it when he was on FaZe. We've talked through some of that stuff.
Ooh.
I think the value that he provides, to be honest, is in a lot of the vibes as well. I mean, anybody who's been around him knows that he knows how to have a good time. He knows how to take things in stride, and he knows how to still fight to win.
Yeah, great points.
I think that's a ton of value that he's able to provide to G2 while Leaf is out.
Great points on that one, but I do want to touch on that map there. Corrode is going to be the first one here, Alexis. So that is going to be interesting because how long have G2 had time to be able to put things together on Corrode versus Sentinels?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it kind of makes sense that Sentinels wants to pick it because they know, okay, G2's playing with the sub. They might not have had as much time to practice, but also on the G2 side of things, it kind of makes sense for them as well because they don't know what kind of roles they want to do, and since there's not a set meta on Corrode yet, they can kind of play whatever they want.
And I do see great opportunities here for Baby Bay on the Sentinel to maybe be a little bit more lurk heavy, get to do his thing a bit more and just find those individual fights wherever they may present themselves so that this way he could, get those ones when the opportunity presents.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Valen calls this map. I think that we've seen a couple of reps on it internationally and then here, and I don't think it's been solved. I don't think it's been figured out. And if I trust an IGL to be able to solve it, a new map that is, in a lot of ways, so different compared to what we have on other maps, it is Valen.
Or John QT, honestly, on the other side would be another guy who could crack that egg there as well. But we're starting to see the agents begin to flood in here. Nothing all that crazy that we're seeing. Got the neon out there, Alexis, for Sentinels. But I'm curious to see what G2 opts to run here. All right, and actually jog back on that Yoru, so he likes that Yoru, but Baby Bay on the Vice. Let's talk about this composition, Alexis, real quick.
Vice is definitely an easy agent for the Unk to pick up, I will say. Put your util down, hold it, and you're done. So it should be good for him. I think on the Sova, we have Trent, like we were talking about earlier, he's insane on the Sova, so nothing new here.
I'm really curious to see how they solve the map without a fade, without a dog, without something like that. And yeah, the drone kind of does it a little bit.
There's a lot of corners up.
Yeah, and I don't know that the drone will give you the same value that a fade dog will.
Oh, that's a great point. We'll have to see how this all pans out here and send it over to your casters who are waiting to be called up to Tier 1 themselves. It's Mimi and Ender.
Thanks so much, GP. We've waited a long time for this moment. G2 took this risk after Toronto invested in a new rookie player just eligible to play on this stage. And now he's finally here, ready to make his debut.
Are you talking about Baby Bay?
Yeah.
Okay, technically, he's a rookie. Technically, we have to call him a rookie because he never played in, like, Americas. But this guy was playing back in the VCLs in Challengers NA, back with FaZe Clan, and we are getting ready to see him back up there once again with G2 versus Sentinels. You can load up fast in game with Samsung SSDs. Let's get ready to get things underway, Mimi, because this is an absolute banger. We are packed here in the Riot Games arena.
Yeah, our two best teams playing Corrode to start, and it's no surprise that it starts in mid-second, going up quick.
Always a fast fight. Zekin might get pinged out by this dart, though. And on opposite sides of the wall, it comes down. Zekin strikes first. Sentinels on the board early, but G2 are still posturing in this space, calling in the reinforcements. That'll be Jonas Api supporting down long, but Zekin is on an absolute warpath. It's not ending anytime soon. G2 find a couple of kills on the other side, but again, it'll be Sentinels in control of the site.
Yeah, the trade's good from Zelsis. Everyone gets away into this site, and now Sentinels, whenever you're playing a post fight on B, you have so many angles to go for.
It's Baby Bay in a 1v3. VCT A player 1, more like.
He doesn't even have a name, Christy.
It's brutal. He already got his first kill in 1,072 days. It has been a drought for the rookie.
Don't know if we've ever had a 30-year-old rookie before.
And I don't know if we ever are again. It'll be Sentinels drawing first blood.
Yeah, that was a really nice round from Sen. And let's talk about the comps for a second, because both these teams have the same core, right? You're playing double controller, you're playing Vice. It seems like the majority of the teams across regions are thinking that that's about the kind of standard you want to set. But it is really interesting to see Zekin locking in this Neon instead, because giving up that Yoru, you're sacrificing having flashes to work with, and instead you're really relying on him to just absolutely send it early on. But it does so much for those initial fights that are really important on this map.
Exactly, especially, you know, using slides to brace crosshairs, and again, for taking quick space into mid. This is going to be a consistent, and also a fight over into B main at the same time. Sentinels keeping the pressure up, and once again, Baby Bay falling down this time early on into the round.
I don't think you have to start saying once again at round 2. You can wait a second to dog on him.
I mean, look, if Baby Bay was up here, he would call it honestly. I think we can do the same. I cleared that with him in advance, don't worry, but it will be Sentinels making quick work of the second round.
Yeah, so Corrode, the name of the game is these mid-fights early on. If you're playing, honestly, either side of the map, and you don't have that space, your rotates late round gets so brutal. You're either running all the way back through CT, adding probably 10 seconds, and it's even worse if you're an attacker. Yeah, especially when it comes to, you know, rotating between the sites like you're saying, or defenders trying to look to retake into the site. That A site only has the one way to get in it if you don't have any mid control to play with. So I think a lot of this game for G2 against a Neon comp is figuring out what amount of space do you want to give early on, how are you re-clearing, and how are you stopping Zekin from just running away with map control? Well, it's not gonna stop. Actually, John QT running a bit away as well. Jogmo fires back on the other side and gets some support from Trent. Trent still locked down inside of mid while Valen mows him down. G2 come in with the better rifles and now control the spike. And that's what I'm talking about. Really nice team fighting from G2. They gave a little bit of space to the Neon, then immediately have a Paranoia, have a dart ready to go on that fight back in and brutalize the Sentinels in mid. And you can see that every round, again, is going to be about mid fighting. It is double Viper walls trying to control this space early on, so a lot of chaos to play through, whether that's going to be Jogamo on flashes or Neon sliding. Right now, John QT has gone for the long walkabout, but Trent, even though he's low, is poised and ready on the angle. Alan's low too, but there should be some easy trades to get here for G2. And still a lot of territory to cover before you even recover the spike. Now the gas taken down rather low. QT sees the gun, but Trent will see him first. A 3K and G2 on the board. Super good bounce back for them. Baby Bay already building it up. Coach Josh RT, he put out a post on Twitter about what was honestly a very weird move. Everyone thought it was going to be Demon 1 subbing in, and said the man formerly known as Demon 7, like 20 years ago in Crossfire. You gotta go way back in the day to see those names. But he's saying that Baby Bay's a guy who brings vibes, he brings experience. He's doing some of the things that Leaf did in keeping the team accountable and helping a little as a secondary caller. And I think from our time working with him, we can attest that he definitely brings those traits. Yeah, he does. And word on the street is he was flying as well when he was trialing for the team. Here we go, another fight into mid. Jogamo taken down so low, forced to teleport away. A bit more reserved from Sen this time. They slow things down, but still take space in Valen. In trouble here.
again, still alive and has support back on the site. Baby Bay will be holding from near elbow as more and more players flood on in. This will be Sentinel's first time really gaining some space in towards A. They've still got Bang working into A main, but G2 have bunkered down and aren't giving any angles.
What you're looking at right now is pretty much the dream position for attackers when you're in a mid round. You have control in A main, you have control deep in mid, and now you can just sit and wait for that reclear to come and try your best to punish it.
You can think of it kind of like an Ascent, where once you control mid, you can dabble back and forth, and Jogamo, a human drone on low HP, falls.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for, right? Someone's gonna walk, someone's gonna clear mid, you get your pick, and now you're up.
And now both lurks trying to test some space as well. Bang really wants it in main, but this puts a lot of pressure on Sentinels. Mid player has already fallen.
There's a pinch coming.
Pinches on pinches as that lurk has slipped through B as well. This mid fight to determine everything. Two players on opposite sides of the wall. But how prepared will Sentinels be? That haunt is deep. It's not going to spot both players, but we'll see the one. Narrate and Zekin both find their mark, and B site is open.
Perfect road into this side and plenty of time to get set up in the post. I think B is one of the most difficult sites in the game to retake right now, because if you are just coming in through spawn, you are pretty much, through mid rather, you are just going to get owned by players in elbow, in heaven. If you're trying to just come through CT, there's also so many positions for people in the post plant to be set up. So you pretty much always have to try and take a second avenue and go for a split push to actually make those retakes work.
And when we were seeing Corrode being played yesterday as well, we saw a lot of our teams actually trying to fight a little bit more up into that elbow area. We'll help you out already if you don't know the callouts entirely just yet, but if you can have that forward space, or at least that threat of forward space early on into the retake, it can force defenders to use a lot of their utility before they even make it to the site itself.
Yeah. Nice macro that round from John QT. Takes things very slowly, calls for a good reclear, back into mid to punish both players set up there from G2. Sentinel's now going to start to get some of these ults online and get a really good attack side going.
Exactly. Already up 3-1, but if Narrate's able to pick up an orb in this round, get that ultimate, combo that with Zekin, you can go flying into a site. It's really hard to react.
Last couple of rounds, we've seen Baby Bay set up over on A. I think that normally we've been seeing a lot of like solo anchoring B from the Vice, but if you do set up A, that site is really good for these kind of multi-stage defenses, right? You can be holding all the way into main, then you're falling back, then you have the next layer here, and then you're finally falling back into the site. It's really tough for attackers to deal with.
Once again, fight out into mid. This time some neon walls getting into the mix.
SEN feint it this time. They double back into B main, and they're just gonna look to hard hit there. Only a single anchor.
Yeah, a single Thorn, no Viper Wall set up on this map, so it'll just be the support of Omen Smokes coming in.
But because G2 kept top mid control, they will actually have fast rotates to help.
When do Sentinels want to pop? It'll be the orb for Narrate, Nightfall now ready, and here it comes. All of Sentinels into the mix, Zekin leading the charge as those Thorns do delay for a moment. Those rotates you mentioned from G2. Already two players approaching in from mid, and Sentinels not comfortably onto site just yet. Trent has made his way here. Keep your eyes on him, but Narrate is already waiting for him. 2 kills, and the defense starts to fall apart from G2.
Really nice fighting there. Sentinels take a pause, decide, hey, we have to deal with one of these corridors first, get there too, and now a big advantage.
Oh, Valen just can't quite find the angle from heaven. Sees a few players, but his own teammates are dropping like flies. There's time to play with now. But Valen's position has already been given up. Now he's getting re-cleared. Narrate playing so aggressively.
Big pick.
And all of a sudden, Valen with 3. Hold on. On for a clutch. But down to 15 HP. Valen just can't get it done. He makes it even, but Sentinels take it in the end.
I don't know where those 3 kills came from. Out of G2's IGL. Still not quite enough to win it out. That's really nice conditioning early from Sentinels, showing that same util pattern in mid, immediately walking back into B, in the site pretty easily, and just having great team fighting to deal with these extremities early.
Oh my word!
That's nasty.
The wall pen into the transfer is very nice.
Yeah, welcome to Corrode, guys. Gonna be seeing wall pen kills a lot.
We like that. Depending on who you ask. Our Odin players, you know, I've been talking to Alexis all week, and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm just on the Odin all the time. It's great. When you're on the receiving end, not nearly so fun. Will be G2 calling a timeout here, and looking at the money available, it will be forcing them onto a save, but they've got some big critical ultimates coming online.
Yeah, G2 have kind of a tough task here, because you can double down on trying to go for these early fights into mid, kind of flip your round on if you can beat the Neon there. I wouldn't hate to see them going for more ideas to like early take space into A or B main, because Sentinels, thus far, they've managed to get a lurk just walking in pretty much alone on one of those sides every round, and you combine that with that heavy effort they're putting into the mid control, and they have great options in their mid round to call from.
It feels a lot like how John loved to call back in the day when they were playing the double smokes plus a sentinel option back on split even, where you can ping pong a little bit between the two sides of the map and rotate into your lurks later on.
We've seen him this year role swapping, playing more initiator, but this is really back to old Sentinels, to comfort for John QT, getting to play double smokes all the time again.
And that's kind of where the meta seems to be headed, so this could be deeper than just a Corrode thing for the Sentinels.
G2 still start 3 into mid, but use less util this time, just look to contain.
Yeah, maybe not wanting to change too much here on the eco with 4 sheriffs in hand.
You see how brutal that Viper wall is to deal with. You're always having to invest a flash, some piece of utility to get ahead of it. That's a value the double controller provides.
This is a moment where Sentinels have doubled up in A main, so maybe expecting a walk-up in the mid rounds, and that walk-up is going to just be in mid. Narrate low, but that'll be the advantage.
Super passive hold over towards B. Narrate doubles back into his teammate, but Sen are going to continue to take their time, see if they can get another opportunity here.
Yeah, you expect now G2 down in numbers, especially to try and creep forward, go for a re-clear, look for something. Bit of a gamble to try and get themselves back into the round. And more than likely around a guy like Jogamo, the only hero rifle to play with this one.
All of Sen grouping up towards A main now. 2 players here, but not the weapons to really deal with this one. Jogamo with the hero rifle is far away, and already losing out on Jonah makes this pretty rough to hold for G2.
Yeah, these are the G2 Sheriffs, not the G2 Stingers. It's a very different story, except not in the case of Trent. Already has found one and calls in Baby Bay for some support, but it's just not going to be there. Sentinels making quick work of this once again.
And they get the spike down, easy peasy.
Spike planted.
Jaw can hunt a little bit here, see if he can get a kill, but no real hope of winning this round. And now, as you look ahead towards the next, it is all about what did G2 discuss in that timeout? Because they showed practically the same round in that last one, just 3 Sheriff players containing in mid.
Yeah, I'm wondering, can you run similar looks? Because obviously G2 have done a lot of like full mid aggros. Can you fight more aggressively for the extremities of the map?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Because I think when you're playing a Yoru into a Neon comp, it ends up playing really similar to if you think about like a Lotus A fight, right? Where as a defender, you have this option of if I hard commit into this early fight, you're pretty much always losing to the Neon because they have stun, they have all this utility to overwhelm, and they can beat the timings on your util with the slide. So what I'm looking at instead is early fights into main, or these like later round second refresh of initiator utility, re-clears on mid, and less of the super early mid fights.
Yeah, something to make it a little bit less predictable, less repetitive. I think G2 are a team that usually play a lot to condition their opponents, so this could be an idea already playing into the defined meta of the map already, with a lot of that mid-fight, but if I'm eyeing up positions on the map, things could start to change.
There's still something in mid.
Yeah, and oh, okay, Trent's going to be bringing Odin to the party. A lot of ultimates to play off of as well.
Zekin's knocked down to 2 health from that spam.
Yeah, down, they waited 10 seconds before going for the flash dart combo, but this fight is headed towards the B site. Sentinels gearing up for a split into these G2 players, but 4 already have rotated over with the double teleports. Paranoia now, the Sentinels wait to find their mark. Trent in a ridiculous position. Who's waiting for him? I don't think anyone. And now the site is getting mucky. It's getting yucky. That ultimate is down, and Trent is tearing them apart. 3 kills already, and with a classic, Jogamo will trade him out. It's a one-on-one now. Both Vipers alive, with plenty of time to work with.
Jonah P was so late to all of this. But John holds outside, tries to look for an early peek. Jonah not giving it. He'll just wait for the plants and play from there.
Turns into a game of timings. Jonah's started to spy a little bit deeper into the site. And ultimately, John has to be worried about every single angle. Left, right, up, back. Jonah's had so much time. John waiting. Backed in, here's a footstep. Jonah P takes him down.
That is nasty from Jonah. In the 1v1, walking into his opponent's pit, making noise doing so. Still gets the kill in the end. that round got way hairier than it should have because it was such a good start to that defense. I love this anchor smoke you see to the left there that Valen threw down. That gives so much space for Trent to play around. He can go left to the right side of the shed. He can isolate players coming through that smoke. He did so much in that position. So it came down to the clutch, and thankfully for G2, they had Jonah, the man to do it.
And importantly, G2 end up winning that round as well without using either the Hunter's Fury or the Dimensional Drift, so they still have options to look for a combo between those two abilities.
You're already seeing how much having the Odin helps solve this map. You have to put a hell of a lot of less resources into mid when you can just spam it on down.
And Trent is the OG Odin abuser, isn't he? You think back to all those rounds he was playing Sova on Ascent back in the day with the guard.
Attack side up from Zelsis is re-clear into mid.
Spotting these players out. Trent on pace. One misses and isn't finding a way to connect. This could be struggle city for G2. The Sentinels bring the heat over towards the A side.
Jaw has to go big in this spot. Stuck into the corner, groups towards main with his teammate. A good reposition.
There's still going to be players there. Jogamo in trouble, has to teleport away. It's a 1v1. Valen, the walls are closing in around him, and he is down. G2 pushed away from this site, but still with the position back towards elbow. Sentinels have to be prepared, though. They know Jaw was on this side of the map. That combo takes him down. 3 already for Zekken. Could we get another? It'll be Trent. Back into things.
Flank coming through.
The off is holding it. There's just no chance. Trent did so much in the last. But you can't swing into an op with an Odin.
Yeah, he has no way out here. Round is over. Sentinels somehow come out on top of that one. The Sova ult just a little off from Trenton. I'm not sure exactly what happened with Baby Bay top mid. I think he just got straight up spammed through that smoke. And then losing a player, Sentinels show a really nice split into the site, and a round that looked super winnable has all gone so wrong.
Yeah, and you can see there too, Valen's having a lot of troubles because ideally you want to be up into A main. That's kind of how you can play around the mid push coming in. But he just couldn't get there quickly enough, and because Zekken's on this Neon, he can capitalize off a slight positioning, problem that Valen found himself in. That's going to bring G2 into another timeout.
Second in the half already.
At round 9.
Yeah, that is brutal for G2.
But to be fair, this is a brand new map, so you have to problem solve a lot on the fly.
Yeah, it has to really come down to adaptations. When you're playing this one, you can probably expect that it's going to be some kind of double controller look, but maybe even seeing the Neon could throw you off to some extent. I think Zekken has done such a good job of breaking the standard timings of isolating anchors on these split pushes that it's just so difficult to deal with.
The mid fights haven't been going G2's way. The delays haven't caught them when they've been supposed to.
And they don't have money this round again.
It's a tough spot to be in as well, for as much as, we were joking on early on, this is Baby's first time stepping on the stage in a long, long time. Hasn't really found his footing yet into this game. He's going to need to if G2 are going to make a go at making things even in this half.
They're still just trying to find a solution to mid. Setting up a trap play there this round. Off of that Neon being heard should be a paranoia, 4 players swinging.
Feels like Sentinels' mid-fights have been a lot more tempered than they started the game off with. That's sort of been Kaplan's adjustment coming out of the timeouts, because now they've got things like the Operator online. Really annoying thing, just be able to post into bot mid.
And the conditioning is so good. G2 on the Rico round, literally putting all 5 players in mid to be ready for that same Neon dive we've seen round after round.
So this will only be our second time watching Sentinels go for a full main hit. Last time it was on B. This will be their attempt at an A, but there are 3 players moving swiftly onto that flank. Could be a problem if Valen doesn't get cleared. They thought they had him because of the spam into the box, but that is just unfortunate.
Yeah, the full auto does him wrong there. And now Zelsis turns to deal with the flank a little too late. Loses his light. Bang, only 1 for 1. That's guns recoverable. But now Sentinels here to deal with the problem and locking up this anti-eco.
Now once again, we're looking to the next round for G2's real adjustment. It's 2 actually timeouts called going into an eco round from G2.
And I like this purchase coming through. Put Jaw on the operator. Couple different ways you can play this. First of all, to set him up in mid, put him in a position to try and punish that Neon as Zekken is sliding on in. Or, mid-round, you can post him in a main and then heavily stack the rest of the map. I think that'll do a lot for them as an adjustment.
It looks like Jogmo is heading towards B. Remember early in the half, there was a lot of solo lurking, especially taking liberties over towards B in the early round. That's where Jaw's gonna like his chances.
Op duel here.
Ooh, but Celsius takes it easy around the corner and sees the first shoulder.
Didn't have Celsius out-opping Jaw on my bingo card. But now this opens up a re-hit late into A. Little pressure applied in mid, and here comes the execute.
Yeah, Babyface got to call in support, but already Zekken is flying at him. It is not comfortable to play with now.
Good reposition.
Waiting for his timing, maybe trying to get inside of this wall. How is Babyface gonna play this? He's getting slid on, he's getting schmeeked on, he can't do anything. Sentinels own the site.
And bye-bye to G2's chances in this round. You buy an op, get diffed by Celsius, and SEN just run over your anchor. Zekken is having such a good game on the Neon right now. Like, single-handedly, not only is he having, like, crazy impact on these executes as a fragger, but he's also forcing G2 to put so many resources into dealing with that early mid-fight. I don't think G2 has actually managed to win that space pretty much ever this half.
No, it's been a drought for a long, long time for G2. And by all accounts, we come into this match and it's very exciting because it's G2 Sentinels, the undisputed 2 best teams in Americas this year. But it is also G2 coming in with a substitute at a last minute. Sentinels were always going to be favored here.
Yeah, and it's also weird because it's both these teams coming in with not a lot of time, you know, playing a tournament in the offseason there after Masters Toronto that they both attended, and then having like basically only a week of practice, if a little more, little less, to be able to come out and prepare for stage 1, or stage 2 rather.
Right. The thing is though, both these teams talk such a big game, especially when they're facing off against each other, that there's always something riding on it. There's always that want to win. I think especially Sentinels, you never live it down if you lose a series like this. So very good to see them coming in.
And to not mince words, I think what you're saying is you cannot lose to G2 with Babyface.
You can't lose to G2 without Leaf after 2 days.
He's a caster, he's 30, he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah, but that's the thing, he's actually been grinding the whole time.
True.
And I saw some big numbers, is all I'm gonna say. G2 back onto Sheriffs this time around. Wall to play with. Sentinels might just want to not reinvent too much, might not want to show too much. It's another exec onto the A side. This time Zekken slipping over to left side of Yard. But then he pumps the brakes for a moment, waiting for his team to come out from behind the wall. Very measured approach from Sentinels thus far, and as soon as Valent's pushed back into him, he's able to make quick work. A few more members. This is lights out.
Yeah, double entry into a double op kill, shutting down the rotators in from mid. Sentinels, they've really started to simplify. The first 6 rounds was conditioning this mid-fight every time, and since then they've figured out that they can just bully the A site. And Zekken has just been running a clinic over there. It's made even more difficult because if you try and fast rotate, push out an extremity, you have Celsius always there on the contain with this operator as well.
This is the control style of Sentinels that I want to see them go back to on the majority of maps.
It reminds me of like when they were at their peak playing on Split, like Masters Madrid era. John QT as an IGL is really good at not just these slow double controller comps, but at working the Neon into it, at having Zekken as that extra bit of pizzazz.
And now he's just been calling hit after hit after hit. This time, geared up to move into B. What do they have to play with? It'll be that Steel Garden mainly, a Nightfall on top of it. Bang could even get a little bit fun and go for some teleports into the site. We're gonna see. Doesn't look like G2 want to put up too much of a stop just yet. Jonah P's actually out there with a classic because he couldn't even shoot his gun. And now Bang has ulted back up into spawn. No one's waiting for him. That's a couple of kills. Now G2 can only approach in through mid. Bang with a shorty in hand, trying to stall out as long as possible. Nightfall to try and counter out this utility being thrown in from G2, and they haven't made any progress into the site.
It's retaking through one corridor because they have no way to get out. There's a crossfire, there's an op. This is brutal.
There's just nothing you can do. They put down a smoke on the left side to try and cut off this crossfire, and it's completely worthless. Sentinels take every single one down.
That is wild. I love what we're seeing with Bang on the Omen here. Double TPing first into the site, then into his teammate's Viper Orb up in Heaven, and pathing all the way around to completely cut off both Elbow and Heaven. The player there dies, and suddenly G2, despite having a somewhat winnable retake, they're just locked out because they're only coming from one direction.
It is clear to me that Sentinels were feeding off of the chaos of all of the fights, the scraps at the start of rounds, these post plants as well. They are looking sharp as we head into the second half.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Looking at the goal for real. Wins, all I know. We gon' hit the head, go toe to toe. Let's see who wins. Wins, all I know. Looking at the goal for real. Wins, whole lot of kinetic, I've been in motion. Whole lot of wins, I've been in focus. Whole lot of hate, they all wanna doubt the boy, but nah, they gotta be joking. Know you seen them on a rise. Know you seen them on a sign. It's a movie in real life. It's real life televised. Check the wrist, big time, big play, gotta hit the rewind. Who you got? Pick a side. Rockstar lifestyle certified. Wins, all I know. We gon' hit the head, go toe to toe. Let's see who wins. Wins, all I know. Looking at the goal for real. Wins, all I know. We gon' hit the head, go toe to toe. Let's see who wins. Wins, all I know. Looking at the.
Well, this halftime break might be the last time G2 get a moment to chat with Coach Josh RT before going into this one, because Mimi, Sentinels lead by 8 at the half.
That they do, and G2 used both of their tactical timeouts in the first one. It was a brutal start, all about Zekin controlling the pace on the Neon, and bad news for G2. I don't think that's going to change, because it's a really similar idea on defense, where at the start of rounds, you want to be using your Neon to either hyper aggro into A main or into mid and deny your opponent's space.
We'll see what G2's approach is. Sentinels, it was all about that mid fight, but on pistol, G2 are ready to attack into Narrate on the B site. Viper Wall here to support him. And already showing his hand a little bit. Haunt comes out, but will be dealt with. Now the rotate comes from John QT. Sentinels with full mid control can move over here quickly. And Sentinels aren't leaving the site either. They continue to flood in and bunker behind this attack wall that G2 themselves put down. It's getting a little bit awkward on site as all 5 players are here, and John QT goes unnoticed and unpunished for a moment. Finally, G2 with an advantage. Baby draws 2 kills, and they get the plant down.
I've never heard the Riot Games Arena that excited for 2 kills. But they're fans.
The first 3 rows love Baby Bay. They want to be as close to him as possible, and the back of the crowd is all Sentinels.
A little weaker from you guys, son.
That's a rarity. They don't really have to talk a big talk this game so far. We'll see. Almost caught on the reload. The G2 get their pistol. Okay!
There he goes!
He got his 2!
There are the vibes Josh RT was talking about when they picked this man up. There is a big difference between how these teams are going to play their attack side, because with the Yoru, you don't have that Neon to speed up, to go for these early gambits into mid.
Let's go, boys! Come on now! Woo! No pie, baby! No pie!
Instead, they really have to slow things down, play a full control comp, and instead go for a lot more re-clear ideas. Here for Sen, it's a big fight ready in mid.
Large challenge. Jogno with the Outlaw as well. Might not even be favored if that first shot doesn't connect. Oh dear! Oh dear! That Outlaw has now been recovered.
G2 want to excel into A, but because Sen have mid control, their rotates are faster.
The Viper Wall that G2 have put down, though, does give them the option to walk out it. Slices Yard up in half. Gives them the ability to walk back into Elbow. That forces Sentinels to play out in front of it, but I like this tempo change from G2.
They'll slow things down, go for a re-clear, maybe back into mid, or just group towards B.
The concern is where that Outlaw has posted up now, right? Few players on light armor, dink down.
See Celsius, he was all the way back in spawn, throws Thorns to A John, and suddenly an orb, a molly, Thorns, and this solo anchor is tough to get through.
It's been stalled for a long time, but Sentinels still aren't rotating away from A.
Launching Thorns.
Still some worlds where this could be a fake. Don't want to get caught on the rotate. So now it'll finally be the call from John QT. Hey, that's a lot of utility, counting 3-4 players walking their way into the site. Sentinels regroup to play numbers.
Where did G2 want to fight? I'd like to see them take elbow here, but it will be a brawl.
Yep, they want to get up in front. Now the snake bite is down. Baby Bay and Valen. Baby Bay on first contact, lining them up, and Valen to capitalize off of it. The rest of G2 follow suit. And it's a 2-on-1 second, a little bit too low to make a go at it.
So a bad start to the round, losing out on Jaw early, but a great recovery from G2. That's the style you need to see. Slow down the pace, don't let the Neon run all over you, take your time, take map control, and make a confident, informed decision.
Exactly. And it'll be something G2 know as well, because they're playing the Aura instead of the Neon. It's really hard for them to quickly capitalize if they see Sentinels overplaying on one side of the map. They can't have that same level of reach that a Neon has sprinting into a site.
And with that style, I expect to see a lot of rounds end like that, with these really chaotic retakes. G2's team fighting is going to have to take a step up from the first half.
A mess of smokes thrown down into mid. Sentinels were throwing a lot of that attack Viper wall that sliced through mid, but G2 have a different read and actually
Nice
abusing
angle.
those angles.
Yeah, there
Wow.
are some cheeky ones on this map. You can jump up on this box in mid and pretty much peer over any smoke that your opponent is placing, unless it's that Viper wall.
Yeah, and that was their own Omen smoke as well that they knew the angle of. That's something G2 have drawn up in the labs. As a little re-clear look is going to punish Jogamo. Narrate is gorgeous on those two shots.
G2 actually still have this space. Throw down a smoke before Valen decides to retreat. But again, it's a B site that has really strong stall utility. Wall ready to go. Vise wall as well. Thorns, this is tough.
Thorns activated.
Baby Bay showing his hand a little bit. They both ignore the wall, just get right in front of it. But now paralyzed on top of the Thorns. Baby Bay has found an opening, but Zelsis looks right behind him. G2 get into the site, trade out their teammate, plant the spike.
Straight up 2v2. Trent and Valen split up.
Hold
Trent
on.
is one off the ultimate, but he has a fight against Narrate.
Narrate on the flank. The wall not an option, and Trent wins it out. 3 for him on the round. And now so many corners that Valen could be in. Bang's got to take his time.
Shadows travel.
Paranoia smoke, but what angle does he
Didn't
check?
see him? That's ridiculous. I think the call might have come in to save.
Yeah. 50 credits in the bank.
Wow.
He concedes it.
Just a couple pixels forward, he sees Valen underneath him. That could be a kill. That could be an honest shot at the round.
Literally half a second difference. And now for G2, they win that round. They keep Trent's ult, and they've won their bonus from what was a dreary game. It looked like this could be like a 13-4. They're in a position where they can really come back, and it all started with this off angle. Very nice job from Trent, punishing that player in mid.
Let's go round by round. Let's get this shit, bruh.
I still can't get out of my head how weird it is seeing him playing again.
Yeah, but it's like hearing his voice sounds normal, you know? But not saying that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me still. We'll get used to it, depending on how long Leaf stays out.
But this one's looking a bit attack-sided, isn't it, Mimi?
Yeah. SEN are going to call a timeout pretty early here. Won't have money this round, so looking ahead to the future. I think it comes down to, with this Neon, where you can actually get aggression without being punished early on. Because G2, you see the way they're playing the map. They are always set up in these super passive positions. So I wouldn't hate to see SEN almost lean into a bit of a slower style, right? You can still show something early, like an A main take with a Neon, but then on that second refresh, go into more re-clear plays back into mid, try and punish these lurk players. Because those like late round lurks into A, into mid, that's what allows Valen to call this slow style he loves.
Exactly. Sentinels need to reframe themselves a bit. They're so used to playing that fast style, those skirmishes for mid on their attacking side, that maybe need to adjust to G2.
But they are starting with a fight here.
Hero rifle on Zekken, and that is in A main. Only Jonah and Baby Bay to receive this fight, and there'll be a paranoia too to catch out these players. Here it comes, Prowler spotted, here's the paranoia, and Baby Bay's down. Zekken gets away with murder.
Exactly the kind of trap you want to see from SEN. Wait for someone to walk up, have the punish with the paranoia and the slide, and now you get an advantage to play from on your eco.
This is almost the weakness now of how G2 play. They hadn't already taken space into mids. That drone comes in from all the way bot mid.
Look at where this Vise wall is placed as well.
Oh
Gonna
dear.
contain towards B, but they're losing space elsewhere. Jaw trades on back.
Yeah, Sentinels wanted to keep the pressure up, go for a re-clear into mid, but every single corner they peek is being held.
It's a good start to the round, but unfortunately for Sentinels, G2 too good to trade this one out, unless Narrate could change that.
Down to 11 HP though.
Spike planted.
Spike already planted. How do G2 want to hold on to this? 2 players back into elbow. Again, trying to bite off of Valen's contact in the corner of sight. Play these deeper lines and force Sentinels to show exactly where they're going to be approaching from. Prowler already into the site, makes it easy for Valen to throw that paranoia and fall back again. It's these layers upon layers when you hold into the post plant. Delay, delay, delay. And Sentinels are now starting to feel that time pressure. Starting to feel the pressure of being outranged and outgunned. And just minced to pieces.
Nice post plant there for G2. Second round this half where they lose someone early to a set play and manage to recover. But Sentinels now, this is the round where we're really going to get to see what they were discussing, what they were looking to change out of that timeout.
Looking at ultimates here, Trent's got the Hunter's Fury. Sentinel's not far from a Nightfall, just one off. True from a Steel Garden as well, but maybe a little harder to play for those orbs proactively than we saw out of them on the attack side.
G2 don't think that SEN will stack a play into A main 2 rounds in a row. They look to go there, and they're absolutely right. This is a light site. Where
Look at
is
Valen,
this TP?
all the way back towards spawn.
He sticks it.
Pinch into Narrate, who is effectively solo away, but Narrate is waiting for it. He is ready. And now the rest of the team is in. Nightfall's going to tag up 3. This completely stunts the play from G2. They're boxed into a corner. They don't really know where to go. Zekken fighting his way out as well. And they're all split up. Jogamo into the thick of things. Gets the 2. G2 with a chance once again.
The round slows down for now. Plant still not committed. A 3v3, but ults for G2. Jaw can get info off this.
Time to scout. There's a double hold back towards spawn. That buys a lot of comfort, and now the Hunter's Fury to connect. Trent tags the first. Shots coming out from the next one. It's distraction! Jogamo with a 4-piece.
Hunting for his ace. The IGL on the other side.
John QT's been revealed. Jaw's waiting right on the other side. He's ready for it! Jogamo gets the ace!
Incredible from Jaw. They needed a player to step up. And the world champ delivers. 5 rounds in a row now for G2, and this was just beautifully played by him. A perfect flash out of the ult, off of the timing of that burst from the Hunter's Fury hitting to get the kill. And then he just keeps it going.
That is a thing of beauty right there.
The iBuyPower ace. Of course, you can go over to iBuyPower socials. They're giving away a $100 gift card and $100 in iBuyPower rewards at iBuyPower. Hashtag unlock your ace.
In the meantime, Sentinels have slipped into mid. Again, continuing to fight over this corridor on the map. And G2 have found success even without doing the same. A very different read heading in. But it's this measured play style that you come to expect from Valen.
And every round, you saw Sentinels throwing a Viper Wall, something like that, to cut off into mid and help the fight there on their attack side. Instead, G2 has been throwing sight walls, either on A or on B, that are prioritizing getting their Viper into a lurk position instead.
Oh,
but
no.
This round, the lurk in question dies.
Yeah, that's the thing. Narrate's so confident he's playing up in front of that Viper's wall, out in the middle of nowhere, but he's winning his shot. And this forces G2 now speed up into the B site. John QT tucked away into the corners. Teammates continue to flood on in. Sentinels looking good already, and Zekin goes down. This might not be over just yet. G2 continuing to fight on in. And abandon Valen to get the spike on the ground.
Baby Bay and Trent trying to win it out, but an ult in their face. Trent will keep his gun, and so will Baby Bay.
G2 have had to fall fully off site, only now looking to get back in. Trent, the spam, it almost is there. But now with Baby Bay in a 1-on-3, it won't be enough. And Sentinels get their first defense round.
Finally breaking the streak there for Sen. And it comes off of Narrate's confidence. Like you mentioned, playing up ahead of that wall, punishing onto the lurk, and they know what G2's reaction is going to be. Because with the Neon, they're taking mid, because Narrate is posturing forward on A, it has to be a 4-1 heavy into this B site. And the Sentinels players are there very quickly to flood retake the site and win that one out.
The adjustment from G2, well, we probably need to be doing something about mid. We can't be giving those rotations over so easily. And when our bluff is being called.
Attack side operator, that's in the hands of Jojimo.
G2 have been throwing this smoke consistently, right on the corner there to block off a lot. Valen, unlucky a bit, can't connect.
Paranoia.
Refight, here goes Zekin, sliding on forward, no one's looking at him. 2 immediately to kick off the round.
2 clean from Zekin. G2 pop an ult.
What is happening? We're ulting away, but refighting in. What in the world is that?
That is a weird one. Works out for Sen, though. They trade favorably. And now it's just Jaw off in hand.
Yeah, the up purchase looking a little bit silly now in the 1-on-4. And that teleport would have been seen.
Oh, brutal timing for Jaw. And a really good change from Sentinels. They've shown some of those earlier mid-fight ideas. They win that last round, realize that G2 is going to want to fight for mid-space, and instead go for a re-clear play. Perfectly done off of the Paranoia and the Haunt coming in conjunction with that slide. And now another look of what they can do with this Neon. It's the AWP this time in the hands of Zekin. They'll show a much more passive round now.
The aftermath of losing that round, it means Zekin can pick up the big gun. G2 gonna have to be precise as they scale forward to deal with that.
2 Guardians, no ult. From what started as a fantastic attack side, this is now feeling like it might slip away for G2.
Volleys exchanged into mid, warning shots, and the like. But once again, Narrate challenged on the first angle. That up falls, and now the refight from Narrate. Paranoia only hits the 1. Sentinels have lost out completely on this side of the map.
And now it's going to be a clean A post plant for G2. They still have Vise Thorns to hold off. They have all 5 players ready to go.
Can even start to cycle these smokes as soon as this orb goes down. Viper Wall goes up, so that's why Bang looks to challenge. Slips in, here's players jumping away. Hold on, nobody's home. He started to realize, and he's here so quickly. On the left side. That's the first. There's a whole lot left to do. Sentinels blinded up. Still stalled away. I mean, they're tagged up, they're getting shot at, they're getting shocked at. And now they might just fall away from the site entirely.
They're saving. And this is such a cool post plant from G2. You see where their wall is. That's what I was talking about, that allows a lurk to go up towards elbow, that threatens the Viper there. But what it also does is when you have a post plant and you're putting the spike down here, the retaking players have to push through your Viper wall to challenge. And there's so little space around the spike outside that wall that it's really difficult to actually have a double swing, to actually cover someone defusing, and makes an already tough site to retake even more difficult.
So maybe that post plant, that strat from G2, going to be something Sentinels will consider. How to work past in this timeout. They're going to be calling now all 4 used in this one. No more hand-me-outs, no more help from the coaches after this.
Yeah, gotta make it to OT if you want another chance. last couple rounds, I have liked what Sentinels have been showing with these re-clear plays into mid. It didn't quite work out there. Caught a bit of a rough timing on the clear back through a link. But I think that idea is generally good. If you're full sending early on, G2 is a team that is really good at kind of finding that angle, finding that punish. So I like the overall idea from them. But I think where it's been suffering is in some of these really late rounds, when they're actually playing the retakes. I'd like to see them being a little bit more proactive in trying to, if they have that mid control, either like push through for flanks or try and get that second angle. Because in most of these rounds, they've been having to retake almost exclusively from mid or from CT. And G2's comp with the double controllers, with the Vise, has so much util to shut down those chokes.
Well, already up on 12, Sentinels have some room to test the limits, test some other options. But what I'm looking at is the ultimates right now. G2, nothing to work with here. But if they win this round, G2 are going to be able to cycle ultimates probably until the end of regulation.
And money's kind of bad for Sentinels. They don't even get to keep stacking the loss bonus because of the 2 rounds they won. So it's going to be buy save pretty much until we're right up to overtime.
After the next couple of rounds. We'll see right now. G2 set up 3 towards B, 2 towards A. Again, the same look from Sentinels, playing up, guarding the space around the attack smoke that's been placed right down the middle.
They've realized that G2 are not task fighting for mid. So they're able to just walk a player in without having to commit much utility.
It's so much space for free, but you also think G2 realize the same, because no one's ever up in A main, so Trent is always going to be there, ready to challenge.
The round will be decided on the mid re-clear.
Now, once this wall goes down. Or maybe we just refresh the smoke. Sentinels have no reason to give it up. They can just keep cycling that smoke over and over.
Ray fighting deeper.
Oh, we're trying to jump over this smoke as well and see someone up window, huh? But I like this because 45 seconds in the round, Sentinels have decided, yes, we were up there. We could have kept fighting, but G2 have lost so much time. Sentinels can now give up that space and chew away at the clock.
Drone into A main. Makes Sen think this might be another hard G2 hit there, but instead it's a heavy walk into mid. What a timing for G2 to catch.
It'll all be on Narrate and John QT.
But they're separated.
They have to play on their own on the slant. Oh no, who's looking at him? A 1-for-1. That'll be good enough, but now Narrate prepared into main and no one else to challenge him there. A quick hop back into the site. Chogamo trying to be a drone. He pretended to be a drone for half a second. That was exactly what Narrate needed. Sentinels down in numbers, but they're always coming back into the site and now onto the flank. The challenge, but it's a knife in Delsis's hand. Somehow Trent chalks it. Now Trent paranoia it up as Sentinels running to the side. I mean, it's a mess on every single front.
Trent 1v3, ult, and all of his starts to work with.
But they know where he is, and he's still worried about a flank. He knew Zelsis was behind him, now sees that there isn't a flank coming in. Has to put away the Hunter's Fury, needs to challenge. To half already, there goes Trent 1, and Trent does not get the next. Sentinels strike first here and take Corrode.
A bold choice against their rival to pick the newest map in the pool. But a dominant first half, 10-2 on the attack side. With the spearhead of Zekin leading the way. 22-15 for him as they end the map.